Hey everyone, it's time for day 11 of Alone with You. Um, Last time I think we went to some terraforming place, uh, really quickly turned off that process just by flipping a couple of switches, and then they let us come right back home, spend some time in the hollow deck with Winnie, and then that's about all we did last time. So let's see what today brings. Good morning. Did you enjoy your time in the mountains last night? Uh, well, let's be positive here. Let's say we absolutely enjoyed it. That is fantastic to hear. It was no small trick to find that simulation and get it up and running. Well, our time is getting more and more precious. Please come see me in the core as soon as possible. First things first, check the status board. This week has been truly difficult, but the ship is coming along as well as can be expected. I would estimate the status of the ship to be as such. Communication systems 70% ready, thrusters 63% ready, life support 76% ready, fuel systems 44% ready. We will have to continue our work if we're going to successfully get you back to Earth. I guess those percentages aren't too bad, although I think we're about 2/3 of the way in to the whole process here, so I would expect some of those sections to be a little bit further along. That said, I don't think it's really that big of a... I don't know how much influence we really have over the progress. I guess the people we spend more time with in the holodeck get their stuff done a little bit faster, maybe? Since you shut down the terraforming fields yesterday, I've already read changes to the atmosphere. I think it's working, but I still think time is against us. So here are the tasks we need to accomplish now. Since Tower E was destroyed, we only have one area left in the comms relay. It's Hub Tower. I'd like you to investigate it. And since our efforts to collect fuel at the Caves refinery were unsuccessful, we'll have to head to the research lab. Finally, the Agridome's dormitory is still somewhat intact, and I need you to see if the staff ever found a cure for the food supply. I know things have been somewhat grim, but we have to push on. Head to the shuttle bay and plot a course to get started. What about Colony B? Oh, well, listen, I'd just rather we not go back there. I mean, if we don't need to. Man, Corey, you're real squeamish about the dead bodies, aren't you? Just please, for now, let's just focus on the comms relay, the agridomes, and the caves. Really, it's just better if you get moving. Head to the shuttle bay. Man, don't rush me, Corey. I'll go at my own pace. Let me have, my cereal and my coffee, and then I'll get on your mission that you're so excited about. Alright, so the options he's letting us go to are the agridomes, the caves, and the comms relay. I think places we were lagging behind in the progress, the little readout in the cafeteria. I think one of the lowest ones was the fuel system or whatever, which is related to the crystals we were trying to get at the caves. So maybe we can get stuff back on track if we go to the caves. Also, it's just been a while. I feel like I've been avoiding all the stuff with Jean compared to anyone else, just because so far he's been sort of the least likable in a way. Or well, maybe we just haven't seen enough of him. We didn't have a chance to get to know him and grow to like him yet. So yeah, let's go see what we can find at the caves. You've reached the research lab. That's where energy-specific R&D took place over the last 16 years. Since the lab was first built, we have made significant gains finding new uses, processes, and efficiencies for the crystal harvested here. Mr. Lumumba's notes suggested that if we're to find any usable fuel for the escape ship, it would be here. Somehow, though, I suspect it won't be as straightforward as that. It seems like it never is with that man. Oh, that man. Such a not straightforward guy. Although, I mean, Corey has a point. The last time we talked to him, he was like, I'm gonna tell you some pointless, mundane story, and that's me being completely honest with you. Don't you believe me? So that was kind of suspicious in and of itself. And that probably is a big factor in why I don't really like the guy. I don't feel like he's being completely honest with us. I don't trust him. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see if he can earn our trust. So Corey says, the various labs are contained within 4 color code nodes. To reach each node, you can use the transport platform in front of you. That big dome in front of you is the main research core. It's a special chamber that is sealed, lined, and monitored to prevent disasters. Let's look around and see if we can figure out how to get it open. Good idea, Corey. I was like hidden in this hallway here. I was like, where am I? Where's my character? It doesn't seem like I can move toward the foreground. All I can do is use the monorail, I guess. The maglev platform can go right to the blue labs or left to the red labs. Which way will you go? Let's go to the blue labs. I'm sure we'll explore every place we can eventually. When you're done looking around there, you can return to the transport platform and travel to another node. Alright, we got Themba Ivanovich. That waste receptacle was used to burn something. Your scan indicates traces of cotton and synthetic fibers as well as paper, likely as a type of kindling. I wonder what they're trying to burn in here. You can probably still see bits of whatever was burned in there. I'm picking up round, fluffy curls of something. Curls? Like hair? Were they burning someone's hair? Or like a wig? Was someone wearing a wig as a disguise? Like in the movies, a blonde wig, and they're like, "Yes, hello, my name is Sally Woman. I'm a real woman, I promise." This was the research station that Director of Waste Management Themba Ivanovich used during her time there. Her terminal is inoperable, but the desk looks very organized. Logs indicate that she had a particularly difficult job, especially once the drones began to malfunction and resources became more constrained. So it wasn't clear to me that this Themba was a woman's name initially, so that's good to know. This shelf is incredibly tidy and very work-focused. There isn't anything on it that is ornamental or non-essential. Miss Ivanovich seems to have created her own tracking system and predictive models for waste management, in addition to the routines I controlled. Man, it sounds like this lady really loves poop. She's thinking about poop all day and how to manage it. The shelf contains several collections of hard copy notes and projections, as well as contingency plans for alternative methods of waste reduction and redirection. Redirection where? What are they doing with this waste? Is it like they're using the toilet water to power the showers? I hope they didn't go that far with their reusing waste materials. Alright, we got Abra Dombrowski. That is a childlike painting of a carrot inside a fairly ornate frame. This guy really loves carrots. That storage container is completely full of plush toys, old physical letters, and children's books. Its contents have spilled out everywhere. You know, it seems to me that someone was digging through that container and tossing things aside. Perhaps they were looking for something. Well, it looks like this guy had a lot of stuffed animals and junk, and somebody was trying to rob him because they wanted one particular teddy bear. That appears to be locked with a password. Do you want to try to enter it? No. I have no idea what the password could be at this point. We got a sticky note here. Maybe it's got a password on it. The ink is faded, but there's something scrawled on that old standard issue office note. Password. Fave things, smiley face. Alright, so this person's favorite things. What could it be? So they've got like a stuffed rabbit here, looks like. Seems like they like stuffed animals and like children's toys in general, but looking at the pattern on the carpet here and the carrot painting, the rabbit stuffed animal, I'm gonna guess that they like rabbits, or maybe bunnies as they're also called. So I think that's what I'm gonna try at the password prompt, but let's read this flavor text. Miss Dombrowski's shelf is in stark contrast to the other ladies. It's overflowing with stuffed animals, figurines, souvenirs, and handmade crafts. Apparently she was quite well, how would you put it? She was a connoisseur of fine stuffed animals. Only the best for this lady. Suppose that's true. She does seem to have focused her considerable collection on very specific images and talismans. Talismans? What is she, like a voodoo priestess or something? Nah, she just likes bunnies. That's a physical edition of The Tale of Peter Rabbit by Beatrix Potter. It's not an original printing, but it's still quite valuable. Yeah, I think that's about everything that's here, unless we use the computer. So I'll try Rabbit first, then Bunny. Not Rabbit, Bunny? Rabbits plural. There we go. Good work. I have access to Miss Dombrowski's private terminal now. There are bits of research she was doing for Mr. Lumumba on energy transportation. It seems one of the major issues the team was having was with storing energy in smaller containers without increasing volatility. It's curious that was never really a priority for the colony. I wonder just what exactly this new research was really for. It was for his Iron Man suit. He was trying to figure out how to power it in a compact way. In any case, I've sent a security request from this terminal to try to open up the core. We've got the research data regarding storing this improved energy source. That will help make the escape ship safer. Let's see what else we could find so we can gain access to the core. Well, that went pretty smoothly. We didn't have to go somewhere else and come back. It was just a self-contained, pretty easy to solve puzzle there. Let's look at the common lab. You've reached the common lab. It was used by all the researchers for various general tasks. Looks like it's in quite a state. Oh, we got a dead body here. I'm afraid you found another corpse. This one belongs to R&D engineer Abra Dombrowski. I would surmise she was trapped in that room for some time. It's difficult to ascertain, but she likely either starved to death or was asphyxiated by a steadily decreasing supply of oxygen. Either way would have been horrible. Yeah, those do both sound like pretty bad ways to die. There is a single note still legible near the body. It reads, "Goodbye, Themba." Yikes. Yeah, it looks like her lower body was crushed by these rocks here, so not only did she either suffocate or starve to death, but I'm sure it's quite unpleasant to have your lower body crushed as well. So that sucks. And no one even brought her one of her bunny stuffed animals to keep her company in her last moments. That's the real shame here. Anyway, I think that's everything we can look at here. Unless I'm blind and missed something. So I guess we're going going clockwise through this entire thing. Got Beth Jacobson's lab. Got a computer, which we can't use. We got some like donut-looking things, or what is this? Miss Jacobson's research spilled onto that table as well. It's covered with notes and... oh, what's this? There's a somewhat blurry printed photograph among the papers. It looks to be of R&D engineer Bin Nguyen. In it, he's smiling at his desk. Those containers are designed to slowly mix multiple elements in a controlled environment. The notes beside each all indicate that none of the various experiments were successful. That pile of faded, handwritten notes is very difficult to make out. However, I believe the sentiment within indicates frustration. The only complete segment I can reconstruct says, "They're not helping. This isn't going to work. I don't want to die here." I wonder how I can get into this computer. Please insert boot disk to continue. Perhaps you can find a disk somewhere in the facility. Okay, so this one's not a password, we just need a disk, which I'm sure we'll find somewhere along the way. I see you found the research lab's break room. I wouldn't touch any of the food there. There's no telling what it's been exposed to. Actually, I can tell you exactly. Your suit is picking up all sorts of data. Do you want to know? I mean, sure, I guess. I wasn't going to try eating it anyway, but there are over 400 dangerous substances and trace elements that, you know, on second thought, it's probably best not to worry about it. Well then, why'd you offer? Besides, I can't eat anything. That would require taking off my helmet, which I only do that when I'm sleeping. Colonists would relax there during breaks on shifts. It appears someone was using it quite frequently. I mean, comfortable furniture. That should be the most used thing. It's a standard food processor. It's quite broken down, though. It probably hasn't been active in years. This kind of looks like an arcade machine. Is that what this is? Looks like some of the colonists constructed an old-fashioned arcade machine from spare materials. Since, though, it's been used for parts. Oh man. They built it, but then they had to scrap it in order to use the parts elsewhere. That means we can't play it, which is a real shame. I never did understand humans' obsession with printed reading material. That rack has many hot-printed magazines and periodicals. Some crafty colonists snuck news data through the Earth transmissions and then used a printing device to create physical copies. I imagine for some it was heartening to read stories from Earth, but the transmissions would have been 23 Earth years old. Even with hyperspace travel reducing transmission delivery time by 75%, that is a large gap, and that information wouldn't be at all useful. What do you think about this? I mean, I can see how any sort of information about Earth would sort of give people a sense of comfort. Although the whole like printing it out into like physical magazines, I don't necessarily feel like they have to have done that. It seems like the people in this game, in this colony, really like printed material. Like, I say that as someone who prefers physical books. I mean, that's only because it's still practical to have them in our society, but in this context, I feel like they're going to a lot of effort to create physical reading material. Anyway, Corey says, perhaps this is one of those human behaviors that is difficult to parse without more considerable experience. Those look like old cards given to various coworkers in the years prior to the collapse. One says, "Happy birthday, Abra," and features some kind of furry animal. Its date is January 11th, 2033. What it should have on it is a picture of the Pokemon Abra, because that's probably what that person was named after. Another has some sort of geometric minimalist design and says, "Happy birthday, Themba." Its date is May 13th, 2029. The third looks a little generic, as if less effort was put into it. "Happy B-Day, Beth." The date on it is August 2nd, 2034. Man, I guess they didn't really like Beth that much. But they did like drinking coffee, looks like, which is understandable. How can you get any work done in a science lab without coffee? Alright, let's go to the green labs, because we never did find that card for the computer. We'll probably find it somewhere further down along the line. Look at that, holograms, likely some kind of research projection. Got a terminal here. Can't really look at these holograms. Can't say I'm a huge fan of that strobe effect that's going on. It's not giving me a seizure, it's just unpleasant to the eye. Anyway, that data pad was left to process small-scale energy simulations, but a software error stalled its progress. There's just a bit of battery left. There's an audio log recorded by Mr. Brennan. I'll transcribe it for you. Prioritization of the new energy source Lumumba and I are working on is proving difficult. However, thanks to the hologram simulations here, I've come to a conclusion. 1. Because of time constraints, energy efficiency is the most important factor. We need to keep power as long as possible. 2. The next most important factor is compatibility. We need to be able to use this with existing systems. 3. Sadly, given the circumstances, safety is the last priority. That's the end of the log. I mean, you gotta prioritize different things sometimes, but yeah, I would say safety is pretty important too. All those things are important. There's an error message. It reads, "Please complete simulation sequence to continue." Looks like we'll need to complete whatever this simulation sequence is. Maybe you can try the hologram machines in that room. Oh, I see. Now I can do something with these. Switch hologram A. Table is currently projecting a power simulation. Do you want to change it? Table is currently projecting a safety simulation. Do you want to change it? Table is currently projecting an energy efficiency simulation. Do you want to change it? So, what was the order that they said? Efficiency, compatibility, and then safety? Yeah, efficiency, compatibility, safety. So, I think this one was efficiency, right? Yeah, and then materials degradation. Compatibility. Yeah, compatibility, leave that. Energy efficiency, change it. Materials degradation, change it. Compatibility, change it. Power simulation, change it. Oh, here we go. I think you've done it. That seems to be the correct sequence. You can access Mr. Brennan's terminal now. What you got in this terminal? Okay, we're in. Looks like Mr. Brennan's work was really showing progress. He seemed to have found ways to speed up Mr. Lumumba's efforts. Normally, with the production of energy from the mind crystals, there's a certain amount of untapped energy because of inefficiencies in the workflow and whatnot. The simulations show that Mr. Brennan was able to minimize these inefficiencies, though the risks for doing so were beyond safety protocols. This should mean a more concentrated, longer-lasting energy source, perfect for the escape ship. But where is the result of that research? Well, for now, I've sent a security request from Mr. Brennan's account to provide us access to the core. Okay, 2 down. We've secured the research data for improving the efficiency of the new energy source. That will help the escape ship operate longer. Let's see what else we can find so we can gain access to the core. There's another room here. Sleeping quarters. That's the on-site sleeping quarters for the researchers. Yeah, let's see what kind of stuff we can find. We got a locker here that's open. It's got some colorful stuff in it. There are dozens of photos and pictures of cute animals inside that locker. Looks like Abra Dombrowski's locker. There's also a photo of Miss Dombrowski smiling with her arm around Themba Ivanovich, who looks somewhat annoyed. Underneath the photo is a printed label with some markings I don't understand. Less than 3, less than 3, less than 3. Yeah, I don't understand that either. But it sure seems like those two were in a romantic relationship, which, good for them. It's nice that they had someone that they could care about that returned their feelings in a time of hardship. That data card has a red label that reads B when. You can use it in certain terminals to read its contents. I'm sure we will use it in some terminal somewhere. But it isn't that boot disk that we needed. Whoever last used that bed did not make it when they left. I'm sure they had better things to worry about than making their bed. That portable datapad has a significant collection of personal media for Director of Waste Management, Themba. Music, photos, notes, and a series of logs. Here's an entry that might be of some interest. What makes this all even worse is that I could die in here, surrounded by idiots. Lumumba's mad quest to speed up energy development will kill us all. He is determined, but his increasing time demands makes things dangerous. That idiot Dombrowski is increasingly useless, distracted by her stuffed friends. I gave her a little incentive to refocus. There's another entry here you should see. Lumumba's work is hopeless. Wynne and the rest are fools for sticking around this long. I know we'll never get the help we need. We're a write-off now. I'm getting out of here. So it sounds like this poop management lady was kind of grumpy and burned the stuffed animal lady's stuffed animals to try to motivate her to work harder. Maybe that was some form of like flirting in a way, or maybe it was like a one-sided relationship, like stuffed animals liked the grumpy one, but the grumpy one didn't like her back. Seems like the grumpy one didn't like anybody. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the full story is. Maybe there's room for interpretation here. I would like to believe that they settled their differences, but yeah, it's hard to say. We can go to the red labs or the yellow labs. Let's go to the red labs, because I think that's the only place we haven't been yet. And there's a big pile of rubble there, so really there's only one door we can go into here. Got some papers on the wall. These notes are highly complex predictive models for the stability of energy in various forms. Amazing that they are all handwritten. There's a small printed photograph stuck on one of the paper sheets, though it's been torn in two. Looks like a photo of a woman with dark shoulder-length hair. She's wearing a lab coat. Her face is unfortunately cut off. That's kind of weird to keep a photo of somebody that doesn't include their face. That table contains heaps of dusty notebooks. Mr. Wynne must have been frantically working in there. Faded handwriting on one note reads, "Now that she's gone, how will I find the strength to help Lumumba? Are we truly doomed?" It also says, "I'm the only one who remembers her birthday, so I know no one else will get access." Great. We have to go back and look at the birthdays. It's a system boot disk for a terminal, probably used as a backup. A yellow letter B is written on the label in marker. Mr. Wynne apparently kept several external backup drives. They're all connected to an emergency power unit, which is now inoperable. With core systems down and without my help to run routines, this lab probably had to rely on whatever was available. Okay, we've got one terminal we can use a data card in. We do have that data card. I'm reading the card you found in the lounge now. It's got a text log in it that I can extract for you. She said goodbye today. I wasn't sure what she meant. I know everyone blamed her for what happened, but it wasn't her fault. I was the one who pushed her to do more work, to do more than she was capable of. I thought she could handle it, but I was wrong. Even now, they curse her name as if she was responsible for the whole colony failing, but her mistake was mine too. Sounds like he's talking about, what's her face? That third lady. What was her name? Robinson? Something like that. And I guess this terminal, we need that birthday. Which I don't remember. I did look at it. I did look at that card. But honestly, I didn't think it would be that important. Should have known better. So where should we go? Let's go back around to the Green Labs. No, I don't think we need to be here. Let's go back to yellow. I think this is where that birthday card was. We'll just write down the date from it real quick. I guess since I'm not 100% sure which woman he was talking about, I will write down all the birthdays. But I think it was the third one that we care about. 111, 33. Emma 5, 13, 29. And then Beth. I think this is the one we needed, which is 8, 2, 34. So, seems like this lady was also the youngest of the bunch. Which, I'm sure being younger than everyone else and being a woman, I'm sure she definitely got the respect that she deserved in the workplace. Actually, was it here that there was the terminal we couldn't use? Yeah, boot disk. Okay. Great, we've accessed Miss Jacobson's research data. I'm afraid the news isn't good. She didn't make much progress, it seems. In fact, what I'm seeing here is a series of failed experiments and reports, but we can use this as reference so we don't make the same mistakes. It's too bad that Miss Jacobson didn't feel she was contributing to the research. In her way, we could owe our own survival to her. Oh, there's a note here that just popped up. Bin, I'm so sorry for everything. I let you down. I let everyone down. I love you. We've found the research data on all the failed formulae? I wonder what the correct way to say that is. That will help us avoid mistakes and increase the stability of the escape ship. Let's see what else we can find so we can gain access to the core. I think it's not fair that they were like, oh, well, she's the worst, just because she happened to be the one stuck doing all the experiments that failed. Like, you can't know it's gonna fail until you try it. So it's valuable to know that that whatever approach that experiment was trying was not the correct one. I feel like her work was just as valuable as anybody else's, and they were wrong to treat her badly. Alright. Oh, wait. Who's this computer? Okay, her birthday. Let's do it. Beth's birthday was August 2nd, 2034. Excellent. Mr. Wynn's files contain a lot of data. He truly was an exceptional engineer. It looks like he was focused on retrofitting colony power systems. To deal with Mr. Lumumba's increasing demands, Mr. Wynn had to construct some ingenious workarounds so the new energy source could be used. He really was at the forefront of what he was doing. It's too bad this tragedy had to be the impetus for all this innovation. I've initiated a security request now to the core. That should help us get inside. I think that's the last thing we needed. We've got the research data on how to tune the ship to best use the new energy source. That should help us retrofit the escape ship. And as you probably heard, I've managed to gain access to the core. Head back to the exit. Let's see what Mr. Lumumba was up to. Maglev platform. Oh, we're right near the exit, which is also where the bridge to the core is, so that works out. Time to head inside that core lab. Yes, let's do it. This place is a real mess, but it looks like there's an energy source there. And are those more bodies? Yeah, it seems like most of the bodies ended up here. Right, we found Binwin. He appears to have collapsed there. The position suggests he was clutching his chest. Maybe he suffocated then? Because of the strange particulates in the air in this room, his body is fairly well preserved. I doubt that's a comfort. In his hand is the other half of that torn photo you found in his lab. The woman's face is visible in this half. It appears to be Beth Jacobson. Yeah, I think we put that together. So we can take that thing. Let's look at this body first. Oh, it's Jean Lumumba. I regret to inform you that you have scanned the body of resource manager Jean Lumumba. The position of the body suggests that he was thrown back by some kind of force. His spinal column is damaged, and a blow to the head is likely what killed him. Your scan also picked up the contents of a data recorder in Mr. Lumumba's pocket. It's a log. I'll transcribe it. Wynn has been dead for hours. Sonic vibrations and emissions from the sequencer probably exploded his heart. Yikes. That sounds like a pretty crappy way to die, too. Not long now. Pierre, you damn fool. We were both so very wrong. But if you're still out there, what we made here, it should carry you a long way. I know you didn't give up, despite everything. I hope you find this. There's a suddenly loud sound, and the recording stops there. I'm so sorry. It doesn't bother me that much. I mean, I figured all these hologram people, the real versions of them, died in some way. It's fine. It is perfectly reasonable to be upset. Mr. Lumumba apparently tried to help his colleagues after all, though they did not necessarily see it. I mean, I'm not really upset by this. I don't know why you are. You're trying too hard to fake emotions, Corey. This must be the new energy source that the team was developing in these labs. By the looks of it, it's still stable. But didn't this thing kill that scientist and Lumumba? Maybe it's not that safe. All the machinery in there must have been reconfigured to produce this single fuel cell. An incredible last-ditch effort. It is regrettable that Mr. Lumumba was not more forthcoming with the other colonists. Some of them likened him to a villain. However, he appeared to succeed in his task, even though most people did not know or understand his motivations. Well, that fuel cell will power the escape ship for a considerable amount of time, improving our chances of survival. When you're ready to leave, come on back home. Man, this place felt kind of long. Like there was a lot bigger puzzle component than most of the other places we've been, and a lot less just collecting things. Which, I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. The puzzles are fun. So I don't mind at all. At least some good finally came out of these energy production facilities, even though it took all this for it to happen. Oh, there was a dead body out here. I never even really noticed. It's very difficult to pull much data from those remains, but they are human. Most of what should be there has likely been buried or blown away. The ongoing storms make retrieval of most things outdoors problematic. Still, I'd say those remains are about 2 years old. That would match the timeline of the events we discovered inside. These are likely the remains of Miss Ivanovich. So the grumpy lady bailed and immediately, died 5 feet outside of the door. That kind of sucks, but, it was her own choice, too. She made a big mistake by abandoning everybody. Well, I mean, she would have died anyway, but... So she died on her own terms, committing suicide by walking out of the building. So I guess we're probably going to talk to Lumumba in the holodeck tonight. I don't know what to say. Just come see me when you're ready, I suppose. I don't know why you're acting like that, Corey. What's your problem? I've synced your data from today. I'll refrain from passing on the news about what you found for now. I think it would be best if you deliver the news yourself in the HoloSim chamber tonight. Oh, do you think he's gonna be real sad that his real self is dead? I mean, he might be, but if he's sad about that, that's stupid, because he should have been expecting it. It was almost a certainty. But we'll see. We're about to go talk to him ourselves once we take our nappy nap. It's time. Oh, Corey suggests that we be tactful about this. I mean, I agree in theory. Maybe I'm being a bit tactless in my response to it, but yeah, maybe the guy will appreciate us being gentle breaking this news to him. It's you. Listen, before you say anything, I really wanted to go over something as a way of smoothing over what we... Wait, what is it? You look like something serious has happened. Come on, be honest with me. I found you. You found... Oh, I see. You found the other me. Judging by the look on your face, I assume the news isn't good. That's okay, I'm ready. Just tell me. I thought it wouldn't matter if this happened, but... Well, I don't feel so great about it now. You know, inside, it feels like I feel almost sick. I don't know what I was thinking would happen, but somehow knowing that the other me is gone, that adds some real finality to all this. But okay, let's think about this positively here. At least now we know. But please, tell me, what was I doing out there in the lab? You did it? You did the thing. You mean solving the fuel problem? That's so good to hear. But I just can't help and think about all the others. We all had to do what was required, but the fact that they won't see the results of their work, it's terrible, truly terrible. No matter what anyone thought of me, I know that I respected and admired all of them. I only hope they understood that in those final moments. Well, now we can focus on what's important. Taking this discovery and applying it to the work I'm doing here. If the other Jean and his team manage to create a newer, better energy source in those final days, you'll be all set. I just need to work with the AI to figure out how to modify the escape ship to accept the new source and regulate it. He must have known. He must have known that it wasn't possible to get everyone off. But if anyone could, it would be worth it. I'm confident now that I can finish what I was brought here to do, get you home safely. And that makes me so very happy. Let's talk. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about all these things. Let's talk about the energy first. Of course, you want to know how it will help you get back home. Let me explain. Since the current fuel system in the escape ship isn't functioning, you won't get very far, especially without energy. This new, better energy source is less volatile, and we can control it more finely to give an extra boost to the engines, you see. That will help counter the increasing gravity. It will also let you sip energy longer so the ship can travel farther without depleting. Gotta sip your friends. This is truly great news, but it came at such a high price. I am, however, so very happy that I could use this to help you now. The more time we spent together, these past weeks, the more I knew I wanted to do right by you. I mean, in some sense, you exist solely to solve this problem for me. Let's talk about Beth and Bin. Oh no, did you find out what happened to them? I knew that Bin and Beth had a thing, but they were always discreet about it. Some of the others weren't happy about it, I know. Bin was my number one. Without him, I couldn't do anything. Obviously, he followed me until the end. Yeah, his heart exploded, dude. I don't know if I told you that, but it sounded pretty terrible. The real Jean, he probably didn't even realize the rift that opened up between them as a result of his single-mindedness. I destroyed so many lives. I was trying to do good, to help everybody, but I was so blind to everything around me. You've helped me see this fault in me, and now that I know, I won't make the same mistake again. Thank you. Because of you, I have renewed focus and real perspective, and I'm gonna use it to help you. Is there anything else we should talk about before I get back to work? Yeah, do you have any regrets? We did talk about that, didn't we? Since then, I've really been reconsidering a few things. My work here in this chamber has taught me something, that life is literally what you make of it. Attitude is everything. I always clung to regrets, to things I should have done or should have said, and maybe that's why I did what I did in the caves. But in the end, it wasn't really regret that drove the other me, was it? It couldn't have been. You can't find drive like that in the past. No, it must have been hope. Just like I'm helping you now with everything that's going on around us. Hope is driving me. Hope that you'll get off here and home safely. And I suppose hope that our work here will live on and be remembered. So really, I don't think I see things the way I used to. Too much has happened these past few weeks. Well, I suppose I should get to work on improving your escape ship. Time is running out and we're so close. I'll be seeing you soon. I just know it. And thanks again. So, I mean, I don't know if I can say that Lumumba turned out to be like a great guy or anything. He seemed to have become really focused on accomplishing what he was trying to with the fuel thing, and he sort of, even if it got him a bad reputation with everybody else, and it made him seem like sort of a slave driver in a way, he was focused on accomplishing his task, and he did eventually do that. But yeah, everyone kind of thought he was a jerk in the end because of it. And we see that, maybe he had his reasons for acting the way he did. He wasn't necessarily a bad person. And whatever he ended up doing, it helps us escape from this planet now. So it all kind of worked out. So yeah, in this episode we explored the caves, found out a little bit more about Jean Lumumba, and we'll see what we have the chance to do next time. Until then, thanks for watching. Take care.